The Liching Hour has come. Welcome. It's Friday night. Let's play some Dungeon Crawl Classics. Oh, and get some echo. Now let's fix that. And fix that. There we go. But first, in Dungeon news. More like Fungin news. Yeah. Thank you everyone for submitting your favorite Fungin moments for our Instagram contest. I'm really surprised about the amount of selfies we received this time, especially from the zombies on level 1. I didn't think you'd want to take selfies because it's just, you're beautiful. Almost too beautiful. Moving on. There will be a Mind Flayer ambassador arriving today from the Underdark. You guys know how much I hate these guys. They're so boring. They think they're so much smarter than me. But it's hard to take them serious when they have an octopus for a mouth. Oh, look at me. I can move things with my mind. Ugh. But it's good to be diplomatic. So you all be nice and stay out of the hallways because these guys like to eat brains. I think that might be it. Oh, wait. Yep. There's one more thing. There's been reports of Barry the Blink Dog having returned. Have you seen him? I haven't seen him in, it must be half a year. And I sure do miss that good boy. Who's a good boy, Barry? Who's a good boy? If you see him, tell him I got a treat for him. And that's it. Lich signing out. Viva la Dungeon. All right. Now, let's get down to biznatch. If you, really quick, super quick recap. If you caught last week's episode, our heroes found themselves on a way to a new town, and on the way, they happened to meet a bunch of the villagers from that said town, and who were in the middle of sacrificing or leaving someone as a sacrifice to some kind of demon that's been plaguing their town. The crew, Meggle, Snope, and Pix, waited for them to leave, rescued the girl, waited for the demon, beat the demon down. I will say there was a little bit of luck involved, but they did beat the demon. Came back into town late that night to be heralded as heroes, and then went to sleep, and we join them now with Cassius standing over top of Snope as Snope's on the ground looking up. Cassius's sword's drawn. He has no eyes. They're just blank forehead. Suddenly, Barrow and Talia come crawling into his viewpoint. They too have no eyes, and they open their mouths, and tentacles come slithering out between their teeth with little eyeballs on them. And Snope wakes with a start. He's in a bed. It's a rather nice bed. He shakes his head for a minute to try to remember last night. He's got stale ale on his mouth, and he really missed ale. For a minute there, he takes a minute to remember what had happened. They had killed this demon beast and made it back to the inn. They met the woman they'd rescue was the daughter of the innkeeper, a very grateful man named Broner, a Brogan. He filled them full of ale and stories and called them heroes, and it was the first time anybody called them heroes. Meggle, Snope, and Pix. Up until now, they'd just been kind of surviving, doing whatever they could, literally surviving. He remembers meeting a young guy named Laura, who was the bar, kind of like the local bard, who made a song up for him right there in a spot, and told them all these things about the demon hound. But Snope didn't remember because they all sounded ridiculous, and the hound was dead. This demon was dead. But then he realized that he woke because something had woken him. He hears a cry from outside, deep-throated kind of yell. And he gets up and moves to the small window in his room, and he peers out, and it's the village square out in front of the inn. It's a rather large village too. They're in the village of Herat. They had heard up until the last 3 months, they've been traveling around ever since they made it out of the temple of Shagaznizlthrub. They the one who watches from below, they had just been roaming and finding little tiny little towns with one inn and a farm, or two farms, and that's it. And they'd heard of the next nearest town was Hira, that was larger, maybe 200 people, good sizable town. Anyway, he's looking out this window into the village square, and there's people beginning to gather there, and in the middle is the Jarl. They had met the Jarl on the road. The Jarl and his men and some of the villagers were escorting Morgan, the woman they rescued, to be sacrificed. The Jarl at that time was cold, a little condescending. He didn't want any help, and he wanted them just to move along, and he made that very clear to them. And now he's out there, he's got his men surrounding him, and he's yelling out, "Come on, come out, brave heroes. Come out and face the truth. Come on now." Snope didn't know if he liked the sound of this. All right. And so, just in case, he starts putting on his armor and stuff. And there's a knock at the door, and Meggle sticks her head in. She goes, "You hear this, asshole?" He goes, "Hi, I'll be there. I'll be there in a moment." So she leaves, and he gets getting dressed. And a few minutes later, he comes down stairs, and Brogan's there, and he's immediately apologetic. He's shaking his head. He's like, "I'm not sure why he's doing this, why he's calling for you out in the village square. I know he's not very kind to travelers. He's a bit of a prick, but he is our Jarl." So Snope and Meggle walk out on the front porch. There's when they walk out, kind of large porch, some people in the crowd start cheering for them, but the Jarl quickly silences that by looking around, glaring at anybody who'd dare cheer. Standing next to the Jarl on his right is this small Weasley-looking dude, and next to that guy is a tall cleric-looking guy in kind of a priestly robe, who's staring fiercely at Meggle and Snope. Now, to the left of the Jarl is this large, older, hawkish-looking man, who looks like all business, but not in a kind of a mean way, just staring ahead. The Jarl says, "Well, so glad of you to join us, heroes," with a empty kind of grin. "Aye," Snope says, looking around at the people gathered. Now, he doesn't like this at all. Pix is hidden up on the roof. She's got her sling ready, and she's ready to jump down into the mix. Now, Pix when they first met the Jarl, Pix had gone off in the mist and hidden. So, other than the people who were in the inn that night, there's a lot of people who don't know that Pix even exists. We're going to keep it that way for a little while. Ormond, Meggle's hawk, who Meggle's familiar, is circling up above, ready for any kind of trouble. So, you say you killed the demon dog, the Jarl says. "Aye, we did. It fell by my axe," Snope says in return. "Is that right?" the Jarl says with a sneer. He then looks to his left at the hawkish-looking guy next to him. And that guy steps forward. He goes, "Did you see the body?" Or he goes, "Where's the body?" Important distinction. It turned into mist, black evil mist, and returned to the hells it came from." Morgan, the girl they saved, comes out. Morgan's maybe young 20s, early 20s. She comes out. She yells this, "It returned to the hells it came from." She just appears on the porch beside Snope. The hawkish man, in an almost indecipherable look, looks up at the Jarl. The Jarl loses his smile. "The hound's not dead," he says loudly. The hawkish man shakes his head in agreement and looks down at the ground. The Jarl then looks around at the villagers gathered in the square. "These travelers are liars." The hawkish man looks up sharply at the Jarl, and Snope notices it almost looks like surprise. Morgan shouts out in rage, "They are not! I saw them kill it!" The Jarl grimaces and replies, "Of course they killed your hound, Morgan. What else would you say when you've been saved from making the sacrifice that many of our sons and daughters have made?" Suddenly, the crowd doesn't look so sure. They start looking at each other. The Jarl turns to the crowd. "These people are liars and cheats. The hound will return tonight, and it will be angry. These people robbed us of our sacrifice. You will see, mark my words. Remember, I am your Jarl. Stay inside and bar your doors tight." He turns back to Snope. Just then, a murder of crows comes erupting out of the church across the yard. Just enough that everybody gets kind of jumps a little bit. And that's when Snope realizes just how lifeless and gray the skies are, how dreary the town is, and desolate looking, and how scared the fear returns to the villagers' eyes. He hears Meg murmur to Ormond up in the hawk up in the sky to relax, to be calm. The villagers look around and they start dispersing, maybe in a little bit of embarrassment and worry. The Jarl stares Snope in the eyes. "We hang grave robbers in these parts. Mayhaps you should travel on." And with that, he turns and he walks off with his people following him. The little Weasley guy goes behind him quickly. The cleric stays. We notice he's clutching a book of some sort, staring fiercely at them. The hawkish man, he's watching the Jarl leave, and then he quickly looks at Snope, and then shakes his head, looks down and shakes his head, and walks the opposite way. In what it might be dismay, I'm not sure. So at this point, should we talk to the priest? Should we follow and talk to the hawkish man? Should we go back in the inn and regroup? Or go talk to the Jarl? Or something else? Anybody watching care to chime in? I know what I'm thinking. 5, 4. I'm gonna figure out some cool way to count down for input. Well, if you got an idea, throw it in. Otherwise, I think we're gonna go back and in. Snope, Meggle, especially because Pix is upstairs, so they're gonna go back in the inn. Brogan's apologetic. I am sorry. I believe my daughter. I believe that you helped her. I don't know why he's saying this, but people are scared. We're very scared. We've been scared for a long time. I hope you did kill it. I hope you did, because if you didn't, it will be worse tonight. Snope and Meggle sit down. Pix comes down softly. No one actually hears her even come in and pulls up a chair. And they stare at each other. Did we kill it? Meggle, I saw it. I mean, it fell. But what was the black mist and there's no body? Maybe. That's when Laura, the bard, comes down the stairs all sleepy. Like, did I miss something? And Brogan goes in to start making them breakfast. And Laura comes down and sits at the table. And Snope looks at him. He goes, "What else? All those things you told me about the hound last night. Could you tell me more?" And Laura was like, "Yes, of course." Morgan's sitting with them too. "Yes, of course. I'll tell you more. What do you want to know?" "Well, what do you know about how to kill this thing?" Laura says, "Well, I've heard a lot of different things. One thing I've heard was that the hound heals its wounds during the day, and returns at full strength at night. But you killed it, right? You did not wound it. It fell. Right, right, Snope says. I also heard that the hound, and he looks at Morgan, the hound takes beautiful women to be its bride in the kingdoms beneath the moors. If he didn't die, he's sure gonna be angry for missing you, he says. Morgan rolls her eyes. I also know that the hound will not rest until every last citizen of Herod is slain. Laura says. Snope does one of these. Come on. Laura thinks. Oh, this is a good one. I thought I was going to make this into a song. When the old man told me an ancient warlord possessed a magical spear that could slay the hound, and a shield that could turn away its attacks. His name was Alfheonor, yes. And his tomb is and he looks at Morgan, is the Snake Mound. And she starts nodding, north of the village. A lot of village kids use that as a rite of kind of passage to sneak up there and just get close to the Snake Mound. Laura says we're not all quite sure what it's been there forever. No one's brave enough to sneak in. Although I did hear that some thieves in town, some disreputable folk from town had gone up there and stolen some treasure and then took off to the south. But then again, they just might have left anyway to go to a bigger city. Snope's nodding. Snope goes, who was the... you weren't there. Brogan comes back in with a plate of food for everybody. He goes, who's the man standing next to the Jarl? The one who spoke. Oh, that was Nothan, the younger, they call him. He's chief of the watch. Chief of the watch. All right, so knowing all this, do we want to go talk to Nothan, the younger? Do we want to explore some of the town? Or do we want to go talk to the Jarl or talk to that priest that's out there? Do. Yeah. Any thoughts? All right, well, speak up. If you do. Snope and Meggle eat their breakfast and they find themselves hurrying a little bit. They start talking. They're not sure of themselves anymore. They're not wrapped up in a false sense of security. Like they don't feel like heroes. They've seen some shit. They've survived some really screwed up stuff. They're survivors, and they're very much aware of how messed up and unexpected magic can be. So they're not feeling. They don't have anything else to do. They don't necessarily want to leave this town, especially if they didn't actually kill this dog. They don't want to wait until tonight to see if it comes into town and kills people. And they want to just try to track it down and fight it. So they're going to do a little investigating. They're going to go talk to this Nothan. Morgan insists on coming with them. She takes them down to the city gates where there's a couple of towers, and into one of the towers. When they enter in, that he's sitting there, Nothan's sitting there with a plate of untouched food, just kind of staring, smoking a pipe. And another guard's in there. When they come in, Nothan looks at the guard and nods like this, and then the guard goes up the stairs. Nothan looks at them and nods. The Snope. Pix stays back at the end. Yeah, we're gonna split the party just a little bit. I like the idea that some people don't know she exists. Maybe that'll be helpful later. So, Snope. You fought this hound before, haven't you? And Nothan looks at him, and they both share the same kind of eyes, right? Nothan notices it. Snope notices it. These are people who've seen shit. They know. Nothan nods. And then Snope says, you've seen it turn into mist. And Nothan gives another long nod. And then he coughs. He says, the first few nights when it started coming, my men and I would patrol the streets. And one night it burst into a home and was killing the family. It doesn't eat, by the way. It just rips people apart. It leaves a grisly mess. It doesn't feed. This is just wrath and ravaging. We found it in a house. We surrounded it. I lost 2 good men and 1 bad. And almost lost myself. And he goes like this, and there's just a scar. This doesn't seem too old. And he says, we killed it. We stabbed it. We killed it down. It took 7 spears, but we killed it. It turned into the mist and went away. And the next night it came and broke into 2 more homes. And the next night after that, until finally the Jarl and his advisor, when he says that, he doesn't seem to be too happy about, or he doesn't seem to, it's as if he doesn't like the advisor. How weird. He kind of spits it. I forget the advisor's name. The advisor's name, the Weasley looking man, was Silaroo. Grandma Wormtongue. And his assistant him and his assistant came up with the idea of sacrificing. I will admit, sacrificing does keep the dog, the demon, from coming into town and breaking into homes. About every 2 to 3 nights we put up a sacrifice, and it comes, and he looks at Morgan and looks down, and then it doesn't break into town, he says. Snope nods. What do you think will kill it? Snope looks back. Nothan looks up sharply. If I knew, and he looks like he's about to be, if I knew, I would. But then he seems to rethink it, and he says, if I had the courage, I'd go talk to the Mad Witch. Morgan lets out a breath. Snope looks, or the Mad Widow, not the Mad Witch. If I wanted to know, I'd go talk to the Mad Widow. Snope nods and looks at Megan. Where's this Mad Widow? Morgan replies, she is at a house just north part of town, set outside just a little bit. She very rarely ever comes out of the house. We deliver food. She has a few kids who deliver food to her. Is she a witch or something, he says? Is she magic? wizard, maybe, mayhaps. No one really knows. There's a fear that she is, and that fear keeps everybody away from her. Snope knows the difference between real and suspicion and fear. All right. He looks at Nothan. He says, "What do you know about the mound north of the village?" Nothan. She said, "Always been there. It's a big stone door. I remember back in the day someone tried opening it. It's pretty heavy. That's about it." All right. So now, let me ask you. I'm asking you. Dear chat friends, should we go visit this mad widow? Go talk to the priest, talk to the Jarl, go back to the inn, or head out for the mound. Not sure why we go to the mound just yet, but we could go scout it out. Any thoughts? I think we're going to go talk to this mad widow. So, as they're making their way back through town to head up to the north end of town, they pass through the village square, and that priest is there, and he sees them. He starts yelling. The hound is not dead. The hound is our sin. And our sin is not wiped out by some travelers from our sin cannot be wiped by some strangers. Some dwarves and elves, they do not wipe away our sins. Our sins will only be wiped away in blood. This is the end of times. And he keeps yelling that as Snope and Meggle and Morgan pass by. Morgan's, don't listen to him. He hasn't been the same. He was a good man once, but he hasn't been the same. It broke him. So they continue on down through, and the Jarl has this big, beautiful. If you played Skyrim, it looks just like that. One of the Jarl's homes. In the shadow of it, huddled on the north side, is a little shack. A little hovel. Something. It doesn't look decrepit. It looks like it's just out of the way. Morgan goes, "That's where the mad widow lies. Lost her husband years and years ago. Most of us think she's a witch." Michael looks at her. "What do you think?" Morgan says, "I hope she is." And they smile at that. Snope goes to walk, and Meggle puts her hand on her shoulder. "Let me," she says. And Ormond, the hawk, comes down and rests on her shoulder, and she walks up. What does Meggle have? Does Meggle have a staff? No, she has a long bow and a mace. She knocks. Doom, doom, doom. It takes a few minutes, but finally the door opens. And you got little old ugly lady. Must be looks like she's 80 years old. So, I've got visitors. Look here, visitors. Come in. And when they start walking in, it feels like it's a little larger inside than it is on the outside. A lively fire burns in a fire pit in the center of the floor, and a cat sleeps atop a shelf laden with unrecognizable bits of dried animals. Um, there's a spindle and a distaff spinning flames from the fire into golden threads. Interesting. She sits down. She welcomes them. Would you like anything to drink? They all, no thank you, no thank you. She looks at Morgan. She goes, I haven't seen you since you were little, Morgan. Morgan looks away. She goes, I missed our talks. And Morgan gets super red. She goes, me too, me too. Come, sit down by the fire. They all sit down, and she sits down in the spindle, and it seems like she's spinning flames from the fire into golden threads. So what do I owe this visit? And did you just come into town? She asks Meggle and Snope. She goes, where's your little friend? Meggle and Snope look at each other. Okay, so we're dealing with somebody who isn't necessarily reputation only. So Snope says, we've come about the demon. Oh yeah. Well, I'm not surprised about that. What would you like to know? Why would you think I would know anything? Seems that in matters of eldritch making, Snope puts on his best diplomatic kind of, in means of eldritch types, the village seems to think that you might know more than the average person. Of course they would. Well, what would you like to know? I'm sure if I know anything, I could probably help you. Snope says, we need to know if it's dead. We killed it. It dissolved. When it died, its body dissolved into this black mist and dissipated. Ah, yes, she nods and nods. And she waits. And finally, Snope goes, we need to know if it's dead. And if it's not, we need to know how to kill it. She's weaving. She goes, well, I'll tell you one thing for free. It's not dead. Meggle gets a chill down her spine. Morgan goes, oh no. Snope sets his jaw. Well, how can we kill it? She looks at him and she goes, in order to kill something like that, you've got to bind it. You've got to bind it down, hold it to the ground, and then kill it. And I have something you can use to do that. Snope stands still and just kind of stays still and stares at her. Meggle leans forward. At what price? She says. And, would you like anything to drink? The old lady says. No. But the day's getting on, Snope says, and I want to figure out how to kill this dog. Well, I would ask. I have something that can bind this dog for you to kill it. But in return, my husband, he was human. You know, she looks at Snope. And I haven't met many dwarves in my life. But that doesn't mean I don't like you. Well, this got weird quick, right? If you would marry me, it's been so long since I've had a husband. If you would marry me, I would give you that which I have that would bind this dog. Snope immediately steps back and goes, I am promised to another. Something to add to canon. Who is Snope promised to? She goes, and she looks at Meggle. Well, that's too bad, she says. I truly hope that you find what you're looking for. Snope goes to ask, and she says, would you like anything to drink? No, thank you. Okay. And she doesn't say anything else. It gets quiet, and Meggle and Morgan, they all look at each other, and they excuse themselves. Morgan says, "You're as they're leaving, Morgan says, "You're not afraid, are you? Do you want someone to come and stay with you? You know the hound will break into homes." "Oh, don't worry, dearie. I'm not worried at all. Bye now." And she shows them out. Now where to? We turned down something that could have worked. We could head to the Jarl, head back to the inn. There was that rumor about the thieves breaking into the snake mound. Snope looks at Morgan. He goes, do you know where these less reputable people gather? And then, just then, a bell rings in the church. It's noon. Meggle looks. She goes, I don't want to be here tonight. No, I don't want the killing to happen tonight. Let's just go check out that mound. Laura said there was a spear that this ancient king had that could hold it down. A demon's going to take something magical. It might be our only course of action. Snope nods. All right. I mean, we can go. We'll look. We'll break in. If we don't find anything, we'll come back and we'll kill the fucker again. Okay, she says. And they head back to the inn. They get back to the inn. Meggle and Snope and Pix talk to each other and decide that within the hour they're going to leave. They stock up. They get some things. Morgan takes off. And after they've gotten situated and stuff, and Snope's got his pick, his 50-foot of rope, and his iron spikes, and Pix has got a little hand mirror she keeps to herself, and thieves' tools. Meggle's got the water skin. Maybe she picks up a shovel. Yeah, let's get a shovel. You never know with these ancient tombs. What else would be good? Any ideas on what else would be good to take to an ancient tomb? Right. Okay. Let's do this. They meet back up downstairs, and they're not alone. Morgan's back. She's got Laura with him, and she's got two new people. And they're all looking at Snope and Meggle and Pix, kind of hat in hands kind of thing. And Morgan bravely steps forward and she goes, "We're coming with you." Snope's like, "I don't know. We're coming with you." And that's Laura. He steps up. "No, we're coming with you." Um, Snope looks at Meggle, and more the merrier, I guess, at this point. So we got 4 0 level characters that are joining the mix. We got Morgan, who is a butcher. She butchers all the butches. She cuts all the meat for her father's inn. So she's got a cleaver and a holy symbol. She is, let's see, just give it a little rundown. She's got personality of 14. She's got the best personality, but she's not very agile. She doesn't have very good stamina. She doesn't have the best. She's 12 luck, though, so she's got a lot of luck to burn. Then there is Laura, the minstrel. He's actually surprisingly strong. He's got a very strong, actually. Snope noticed this right away. This guy is a big dude. He's got a strength of 18, which is phenomenal. Then they meet 2 new people. There's Herbo. He's a merchant from town. He's good all the way around. A little low on the personality, but his intelligence is off the charts at 18 as well. This is all I made these guys random. And his strength is 15. His agility is 13. So he's overall pretty good. And then there's Jarek. And Morgan introduces him as somewhat of a part-time healer kind of fellow, but using like herbal poultices and stuff like that. Meaning he's not really healing much. He's got an incredibly amazing stamina and pretty good hit points. But he's not the most charming person in the block. Him and Herbo aren't very charming, apparently. All right, so that's it. We have 4 new people. We got 7 people. We're getting around. We're setting off for this serpent mound. There's not a whole lot of options. They need something. And Snope's got in the back of his head. He's like, "Oh, if we don't find anything magical, maybe I could wrestle this thing to the ground. Does it have to be magical? We have to bind it to the ground." That's what he's thinking in his head. And they're off. So about 1 o'clock, we head out. They head north into the forest, and the forest breaks the edge of a steep slope, revealing a narrow vale below. Set in the center of the valley is a large earthen mound topped with tall grasses and shaped like a long serpent. They say there's tales of these savage tribes of the north that would leave their chieftains in mounds like this, Laura says. And from the way this old man was telling me that Ulf Heonor was the mightiest of them all. They start making their way into the vale. And they discover these slender silvery streams running along either side of the mound. I'm gonna have them do I'm gonna give them not perception, but it's not really. Let's do luck checks. Let's do that. Because they're gonna say we're gonna follow along the one of the sides. There's a tail. That's where we kind of come in. They're gonna follow. Laura and Morgan say that there's a big stone door at the head. So they start heading on it. But I'm gonna have them all do a skill check. Not skill, luck. So the way luck checks work in Dungeon Crawl Classics is you roll, and if you roll under your luck, then you succeed. Because typically everybody's luck is pretty slim because you're low, because you're spending them whenever you can. Meggle first. So that makes sense too, because she's got she's an elf, so she's really good at detecting secret doors and stuff like that. As they're traveling, they choose to travel along the eastern side of this thing. This thing goes, the tail runs south to north, and they choose to run along the eastern side. As they're passing by, she stops and she sits down, and she's looking through, and she's also looking through Ormon's eyes, and he's a hawk, right? He's seeing it, and maybe that's how she sees this, and she gets lucky because she decides she's going to look through his eyes as because he's her familiar, and look as he's cruising over top of the mound, and she just sees this like place where the stream bed goes around the east side, kind of goes in, undercuts the mound, exposing a narrow cleft in the stones. And she gets down there, and everybody stops and wonder what she gets down there, and she looks, and there's this piece of cloth that is kind of caught in the cleft. She pulls it out. It's like as if somebody had gone in this thing and torn their clothes. They look at each other. Here's the thing. What do you guys think? Will they go, yeah, let's go in there, or will they go check out the front door first? So Mego gets down on her knees and stares in, and it's definitely an opening. They could crawl in. But they're, it's dark. No idea where it leads. Well, she's got infravision, so she sees that it goes in. There's nothing in there, but it does go in, and it looks like actually what she can see, what she thinks it's in. Where mind's telling her is it's like she's looking, and then it drops down because there's rocks, and maybe it's a big pile of rocks. It could be a straight drop, or it could be a pile of like slopes down. She can't tell, but it does drop off at some point. So I'll put it to chat. Should we go in the hole or walk to the front door? Front door or hole? All right. Let's go. Man. Let's go check out the front door. Before we go crawling around in there, everybody looks at each other. Let's go look at this front door. So they continue on. The two silvery streams cascade down either side of the hillock, joining to form a shallow, glittering pool at the head of the enormous mound. Across the pool, set into the earthen mound, is a large circular stone, decorated with serpentine spirals worn by time. They all kind of stand around. Mego looks down in the water. She's like, I snuck up here as a kid, but I didn't have the courage to go and touch the door. Did you touch the door, Laura? Everybody else shakes their head. Nobody was brave enough to touch the door. To kind of check out the pool of water. The water is looks like there's white sand under there. It doesn't actually look that deep, and in fact, Mego steps down, and it's only like a foot deep. She's looking in the pool, and well, she doesn't really see much. It doesn't look dangerous. She's gonna do, you know what? Pix is gonna get in there. Yeah, Pix is with us. She's looking for. You're gonna have to cross the water to get to the door. So she's checking out the water first. Find trap. +3. Yeah. So she doesn't see anything kind of dangerous with the water. So they start walking across the water, and as they're walking, Snope's foot hits something, and another person's foot hits something. Herbo hits something, and they stop, and they just kind of kick at it, and this bundle come up, and it's a big enough bundle, and it's obviously not rock, so it's interesting enough to where they kind of stop and they pull it out, and it's a hide bundle, right? And they both of them look and they carry it over to the little place where the door is, and they put it down, and they just got rotting leather straps, and they undo them, and each one has like they both have a nicked bronze sword, a handful of tin and bronze coins, and a cracked humanoid skull. Both of them. Just as they're doing that, Megal's looking around and she finds yet another one. So what is that? What are these? Let's I'm gonna give the guys a intelligence check. Who's my most intelligent person here? Megal's got a 12. Somebody's super intelligent. Oh wait, we got Herbo. He's super intelligent. All right, Herbo. Herbo rolls a 3. Not so smart now, are ya, Herbo? I'll give Herbo a chance because he's smart. I'm gonna give Megal a chance because she's smart, but she's more magic oriented. 17. She rolls an 18. Okay. She looking at these goes, I would think this is an offering. These are offerings. Everybody kind of looks at her and, okay, offering for what? I don't know. It could be, they could be people paying homage or something to the king that's in here, and they would drop these there. It might be superstition. We don't know. Snope nods. He doesn't. The bronze swords aren't doing it for him. Bronze is not a very good sword metal compared to his iron or mithril even. So he's already looking at the door. He's a dwarf, so he can tell right away this is one heavy, heavy stone. He's going to they're going to try to open this thing. He's going to try first, but he's not the strongest guy, actually. He's going to need help. So the way you accomplish a group effort is one person makes a roll, and everybody else adds their modifier to it for you. Megal rolled an 18, which was a pretty high roll. So Snope and let's see who's going to be. Pix is pretty strong. Snope, Pix, Herbo, and Laura are going to try moving this thing. And as they go and they start to get in a position, Megal says, wait. Does anybody have coins on them? And she doesn't, she knows very well that Pix has money on her because Pix has a bunch of the money that they stole, but they found treasure. But she doesn't want to call that out. Pix looks around to see if anybody else answers before she does. And let's see. Morgan says, yeah, I've got a few coppers. Morgan looks down at the little leather kind of hide things. Copper's probably not going to be enough. We need a few gold. I wager. Does anybody have any gold? What do you want with it? They ask. I think we need to leave, and she looks at Snope. I think we need to leave an offering in the pond. Snope sniffs. He's a dwarf. Snope, dwarves can smell gold and gems from like 100 feet away. It's how they find the best mining areas inside in the mountains. He doesn't necessarily want to give up his gold. He sniffs. He doesn't smell any gold in the pond. He's like, "Well, why do you think the gold? I don't smell. I don't smell any pond in the gold in the pond." Michael goes, "Well, okay, all right. Well, how about some copper then?" So they all pool together about 20 copper pieces, and they throw them in the pond, in the water. Snope looks at Meggle, and Meggle's like, "Okay." So, all right, we're gonna roll. And this is gonna be. It doesn't matter whose roll. We're gonna roll for this. We are adding. Well, actually, Snope is gonna set this one out because he's got a -1. It is Herbo is 1, Laura is 3, so it's 4, and then Pix is 1 for 5. We're gonna roll, and they roll a 3. They strain and strain, and it's not moving. This thing ain't moving. So we're gonna give it one more shot. They rest for a minute, and they're gonna try this one more time. And they roll a 3. Again, is that the third 3? I don't know. So they strain, and they're looking at each other and like, hole? Maybe we go back and check that hole out. So they double back. They go back and, but not before Pix. Pix takes a little bit of time because she collects a bunch of the copper that's in the water, while they're all heading back to the cleft in the stream, right above the stream, in the mound. So they head back and they see that, and let's see who's gonna go in. First, I mean, oh well, Pix is gonna go in first, of course. She's the thief. So Pix is going in, and she's gonna take it real nice and slow, and she crawls in. It's not too far. She's crawling, and then it does drop, but it's almost it's like a cave in, like a big pile of rocks at a cave in that goes down into this chamber. She kind of calls back. She looks around. She is human. She doesn't have infravision. It is dark. She calls back and she goes, "It's really dark, but she had enough sunlight to know and to see that the rocks kind of slanted down." So, I think Meggle's gonna go in now first because she's got night vision, or not infravision. So Meggle kind of goes in, and it's a pretty big chamber. There's these tall stone slabs that look like they once supported the ceiling, but they're kind of like canted inward by the weight of the earth and stuff. They're just kind of coming in. It looks like the entire chamber could just collapse at any minute. Is the way it kind of looks. But other than that, it looks empty. So taking their time, Meggle lets them know that, taking their time, everybody kind of crawls in, and now they're standing. They made it inside this ancient tomb, and it smells like it too. Snope lights up a torch, or his lantern, so they got some light, and the party moves on a little bit. Let's get me... Yeah. So... All right, so there's a passageway heading out east. They wait, no. So that would be north, south, west. So it's heading west. They take their time. It's going to be Snope, and then the Snope and Meggle, Picks coming up the rear and the 4 noobs in the middle. Um, Cautiously making their way through this hall about 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 feet down this hallway. It opens up to another hallway. It's a T. It's a about 10-foot wide hallway. They're going this way and going back that way. And then right pretty much kitty corner from them is another opening with stairs going down. So in chat, should we take a right, a left, or straight ahead in this ancient tomb? I'll wait. Do we have anything that could... We don't have a cleric, so we can't do second sight. We have a thief who could sneak around and check things out. We have a hawk. We have a hawk we could send into areas to check it out. Yeah. So, the hawk, they send the hawk down the staired hallway in front of them. And, well, first, they send the hawk to the left. And Snope's guessing that that's back to the doorway. And the hawk comes back and lets Megal know that there's the other side of the stone doorway. Or at least Megal's watching through his eyes. That's better. And just it is, but before then is a room where it looks like a pit. Kind of goes down into a pit, which doesn't look very. It looks pretty nasty. And then it comes back, and she sends it down the one across from him, and she finds herself in a room. It looks like there's a large stone chest or altar in the middle of it, and a lot of drawings and stuff on the wall. So it comes back, and she tells them, and the whole point of them being here, they're looking for this. They're looking for this weapon, right, or the shield and the weapon. So they got to look everywhere they can. So they decide to go down into this room. So the worn stone steps descend into a circular cave walled by tall stone slabs inscribed with dark runes. In the center of the chamber is a collection of stones topped by a slab resembling a table or altar. Atop the slab is the skull of an enormous bear. They walk in, looking at the walls, and on the slabs, the wall slabs, and the ruins on them are carved in the likeness of massive cave bears and warriors donning the skulls and pelts of the bears. The bears and the bear warriors are triumphantly battling dozens of foes. Can't tell what the foes are, like shadowed, but the bears are fighting together alongside. Pix comes up and studying the altar table thing, and she goes, "Hey, this is a chest. This opens," she says. So they're gonna try opening it. Laura is gonna step forward. Pix is gonna check it for traps. She's like, there's no traps. Yeah, no traps. So, all right, Laura is gonna open this thing with a strength check. He hears something pop. Herbo says, "Let me try." Herbo goes, just enough to open it up to reveal what's inside. What's inside are dozens of skulls, human skulls, that have been placed neatly on top of looks like the hide and fur of something. And another skull of an enormous bear. So very carefully they kind of take out the things, and they take out the hide, and it looks like it's the actual hide that's survived for hundreds of years probably of a cave bear. And there's leather thongs sewn into the side so they could be worn as a cloak. Snope's eyes light up. This looks like a fine adventurer's cloak, Herbo says. I'll sell it to you. And Snope laughs. And then Herbo goes, I'll just give it to you. Here you go. So it's cool, and we'll find out how cool it is maybe later, or maybe now. Let's see. Oh, hey. Sorry about that. My foot hit the camera. So, okay. That's it. They check the rest of the thing. They can't find it. Well, this is not a weapon. This is a cool cloak of a cave bear, but it's not a weapon. And it fits Snope well. Like, it doesn't drag or anything like that. So, he's feeling pretty good. And it feels like Meggle goes, yeah, there's something special about this. And Snope, he knows it too. He nods. They're going to search the room some more. How are they going to search the room? So there's treasure here, right? The Herbo and Jarek and Laura are kind of pumped up. We're inside the ancient tomb. It's been here for hundreds of years. No one's gotten in here. We're in here now. It's just, and obviously it's just the tomb, like just a graveyard. Let's start looking for treasure. So they start fanning out. Snope and Meggle and Pix are staying near the altar. They're not necessarily they're thinking about what they're going to be doing next, thinking they're going to be doubling back as these guys are going into the back of the room. It's kind of a large room. One of them kind of puts up their lantern, and clinging to the walls are these two people, and they're actually people. And one of the guys, Herbo, recognizes one of the guys. He'd seen him around town, but this guy looks dead, but alive at the same time. And they're like up against the wall, and they see him. They go, they jump off the wall. Roll initiative. Okay. Okay. They got gray, lifeless skin. I'm just reading about these guys. Yeah. Okay. Initiative +1. So we are going to roll for the ghouls first. Or ghoulish people things. Is that a 19? That's 20. All right, Snope. 10. Snope is 10. Meggle is 12. 12. Nobody has their weapons out. She's 12. +1 is 13. All right, Pix. 15. 16. our party, Morgan's party. We'll call it Morgan's party. You can roll fancy die. Ooh, there she goes. 19. Anybody got a modifier? They do. +1. Okay. 19, 20. Herbo. Oh, Morgan's party. 20. Okay. We're going to give them the shot at doing something first. These two dead things drop off the ceiling right in the middle of these guys. And, yeah. Morgan, Herbo, Jarek, and Laura, they're freaked out, but they fall on them quickly. So, Morgan's going to act fast with her cleaver. She's going to try cleaving one of them. She recognizes the other one. She doesn't know his name, but she's seen him around town. AC is 8. Okay. Do we have... I do not. I've been rolling without you seeing. Sorry about that. Okay. Here we go. Okay. Morgan. She rolls a 7. No modifier. She swings with her cleaver, and it cleaves through some of this. She picks one. The other one's close to her. She slices through its clothes, but it does not connect with it. Herbo, Laura jumps forward with a dagger and stabs the one that she was attacking. He rolls an 18 plus 3 is 21. He is definitely hitting with his steely knife. And he does 1d4 plus 3. So 7 points of damage, which is pretty good. And then Jarek is going to attack the other one with his club. Wow, everybody's rolling great. 19. His club is 1d4. 4 points of damage. Nice. And then Herbo. Herbo's got his dagger. He comes swinging his dagger. Same one that him and Jarek pounce on one. Ooh. His dagger misses. Yeah, his dagger misses. Swings and he's a little out of it. He's not used to fighting. Maybe he's pooped his pants. Okay, that was that team, and now the ghouls-ish things. These rotting bodies, crazy eyes. Oh, here's great. Okay, so let's back up just a second. When Morgan, who hit really hard? Was it Laura? It was Laura. Yeah. Laura hit. He hit for 7 points of damage. When Laura hits with his knife, right, he slices across its chest and kind of thing. And as he slices, pieces of its skin flap open, revealing that his stomach is kind of open, and inside its stomach, this thing bursts out. Its snake head bursts out of its stomach. Him cutting away the skin revealed this thing. And now this serpent has joined the fray. Okay. So, yeah. So now it's their turn. This could be bad for these guys. We'll see who's gonna live. They're all up in their business. And A team isn't rushing over there yet. They will be, but not yet. So let's say a little prayer to the gods and see what happens. It's zero level killing time. All right. Yeah. So the one with the snake coming out of its gut attacks Laura. Yeah, because Laura's the one that sliced it open. Laura has an AC of 10. Let's see, who should fight first? All right, so the ghoul is going to attack him with his hands, his claws. Oh, look at that! 5 missed. He slices and dices, but then the snake comes at him, and I think I got a bad feeling about this, but I think it'd make a lot of sense that he would get hit by the. Oh, maybe not. Maybe wait, hold on. No, that ghoul serpent is +4. Gets him right in the chest, right on his chest, right on his breast, and it's gonna do 1d6, 2 points of damage. It's not bad, not bad. However, he can feel the dirtiness, the filth of it when it sinks its fangs into him. And what happens? Something happens. Oh. He's got to make a fort save. It's not a huge fort save. It feels filthy, but let's see. Where is he at? Okay. And he makes it. Okay. Okay. All right. Well, the other one is attacking. Let's see. Who hit him? Jarek. He is attacking Jarek. Jarek has an AC of 10. 8. 9. Wow. It swings and misses Jarek as well. Yep. No. Hey, hold on. Hold the phone. Back up. Not too. Back up. Why is that? Wow, the serpent does too. Wow. Okay, so the tomb ghoul has 2 hands. So he attacks again. He swings twice at Jarek. Wow. Totally misses Jarek. The snake itself gets 2 hits. It bites. It's gonna bite. It's gonna bite Laura. Let's see. And then maybe try to bite either. Should the snake bite Morgan too, or should it bite Laura again? What would make the most sense to you? Laura. Oh boy, and it hit him. It hit him good. For 3 points of damage. Laura screams out. And Morgan screams, "Laura, no!" And our bard falls. He is dead. The price you pay for robbing tombs. What did the Jarl say? We don't take well to grave robbers. He was a little prescient, wasn't he? All right, bro. All right, it's sorry about that. That was our ghouls. So it's picks. Yeah, so picks. Jumping into action as Laura falls. Her hands on the potion that she's got in her bag that she thinks would help, but he's obviously dead. So she leaps over the thing with her daggers, pulling out her dagger, and she's going to, yeah, she's going to attempt to backstab. She's going to attempt to backstab. It's totally dark. They're busy. She's going to move around. Totally enough room for her to do that. She's going to attempt to backstab. She gets a +1 in her luck die. Ooh, no, I wouldn't roll the luck die yet. 3? Why the 3? Why 3s? So many 3s. I'm not even going to do the luck. That's just too much. She should have got luck back, by the way, from last night. 12. So, all right, she goes in there. Things are going a little too fast. It's moving and attacking, and her dagger misses. Megal sends the hawk immediately in to tear out the snake, for sure, before it can take out Morgan, because it's going to be going for Morgan next. And by God damn it, she's not going to lose Morgan now. And then meanwhile, while it's doing that, oh wait, yeah, no, she's worried about casting a spell now. Might screw things up. So, and it's all a little too dark and close for putting out a longbow. So she's moving in with her mace. All right, so the hawk comes screeching in to attack the snake, the serpent that's burst out of this thing's body. Nice. And it clamps its claws around it. And how much damage does it do? 1d3. Oops. 3 points of damage. Not too shabby. Okay. So it comes in and it uses its claws and tears at it, and the serpent kind of flails around and it flies off before it can get hurt. But it didn't get to pull it out or anything. But she comes in and she swings at the actual ghoul, try to bean it, bring it down, put it down. 3. A 3. 3. All right, so yeah, that's a miss. Oh boy. And it's Snope's turn. All right, Snope. Snope, I want to do something heroic. He wants to do something where he comes in and sets up a defensive line to kind of push the ghoul, at least the ghoul and the serpent back, because that's like, he doesn't know that the other, well, we don't know that either. Well, he's going to call it. He's going to try to set up some kind of defense against both ghouls. He's going to try to get himself in between both. That's his and he's level 2 now. So he's using a 1d4 for his mighty deed. So that's cool. And he's coming in. He moves in and he's pulled out his longsword. Not the battle axe, not Ultimac. What do we got here? A 1 and at least it's not 3. So he's got 6 plus nothing. Minus 1 actually is 5. Oh boy, this is not good. Okay, so they come in. Everybody's in the mix now back there. These ghoul things are just going crazy on everybody, and that's why everybody's trying to get. They're missing and shit. It's dark. Things are happening really quick. It is Morgan is screams in rage. She didn't realize that she is gonna miss Laura like really bad. They've known each other for a long time, and she always knew that he was kind of in love with her. And now she's realizing how much she's gonna miss that. And she takes her cleaver and she's gonna chop the heck out of this ghoul. Actually, she's gonna chop this snake out. The snake that's killed it. That is an 18. So she hit. She's doing 1d6 to the snake. She chops, slices part of it. I don't know how you hurt this thing without chopping it all off, but she slices part of it, but it's not dead. It's still kicking. It's still finger licking. No, that's weird. Okay, Herbo, Jarek. They're trying to get in there and kill this zombie thing. I mean the other ghoul. Let's see. Let's roll for Herbo this time. Roll a better die. It stands out a little better. Herbo sounds like a pink. 6. Come on, man. Alright, so Herbo misses, right? Oh, wait a minute. His ACs are only 8. AC is 8 for the ghoul. He just rolled a 6, plus 1 is 7. He could spend a point of luck to attack this guy. Maybe. He's not going to spend any luck. Then Jarok, the healer. He's trying to hit it down. Hit it with his 18. Wow, it's either 18 or 3s. He hits it with his club again. 3. 3 points of damage. Every time he hits with his club, more skin just kind of flies off. Just sheds. It's almost like it's shedding or molting. It just slides off. It's gross. It stinks. Like, oh. Okay. So the other one, the one with the snake coming out of its abdomen and it's still alive, let's see. Should we go for Morgan or should it go for the big shiny dwarf? I feel like if I go for Morgan, she's going to totally die. But, I mean, she was the last one to swing at this thing. But then again, yeah, well, yeah. It wants to add more to its army. Fuck. Okay, so it's attacking Morgan. It's attacking Morgan. She has an AC of 9. Oh, God. She's not very agile. She should have ran. Should have ran. 4. It misses her. The Tomb Ghoul, one of its six. It misses her. Its 2 hands miss her. The snake is going to try to bite Snope. It's going like this. She's dodged out of the way. It tries to. Actually, it's got either Megal or Snope to attack. Snope was the last one in. So it's going to try to attack Snope. We just rolled 2 that totally saved Morgan's life. I tried to kill her twice, and it didn't happen. So we're going to stick with that. I'm not going to try a third time. This one's going to be, alright, a 12. His armor class is 12, so the snake hits him. The snake bites twice. Nasty. Let's see. 12 and 19. So this thing's biting Snope twice. Rolling 2d6. That's not good. 7 points of damage. And he needs to do a fort check twice. 8, he made it. 7, he made it. Okay. 2 quick, like blur succession. It bites him in 2 places. Oh God. Ugh. Now we've Gunther died, so we don't have a cleric. So this might not be very good. What if we lost Snope? No, that's not gonna happen. All right, so the other ghoul is attacking Jarek. With one hand, and maybe he's gonna split it up. All right, so attacking Jarek. Oh, no. Attacking Jarek. There we go. That's a good one. 12. Yeah, of course he hits. And he does 1 to 5. Let's go. I think this is a 1 to 5. Nope. I do have a 1 to 5 somewhere. 4, 2. This is the 1d4. Please don't tell me I'm starting to lose these. Oh, no, there you are. Yes. 1 to 5, ladies and gentlemen. 1 to 5. 3. Jarek. Jarek gets hit for 3 points of damage. And it's just a flesh wound. Herbo is getting attacked. He swings at Herbo. He connects. Doing 3 points of damage. He scrapes Herbo pretty good, but Herbo is still standing. So now, Snope yells, "Get back!" to the noobs, and Pix comes in to the one with the snake hanging out of it. She's gonna backstab this sucker this time, and she does. That's an auto crit with her dagger. Auto crit is crit table 2 with a 1d12. Do I have crit table 2 up here? No. Oh, a 1. I don't know if a 1's any good. Crit table 2 with a 1. All thieves and elves. Strike misses critical organs. Inflict a paltry plus 2d3 damage with a strike. She's attacking a ghoul, not the snake. So 2d3. So that's 2 of these plus her plus 1d10 on the dagger itself. So that is 9, 10, 11, 14. She darts in there and just hits the spine, cuts the spine. The body falls to its knees. The snake is still there doing its thing. It doesn't die, but the body's dead and slumps. His arms go back. His head flies back with a wet thump. Meg takes her mace and slams it down, trying to smash the snake, the serpent. 15. She hits. Right? Yes. She hits for show. And with, where are you at? 1d6. 6 points of damage. Smash! The serpent's head just smashes against this sword, just on the floor. Bam! There's sounding ring. It's dead. Snope, seeing that happen, turns quickly and heads and swings at the one that's attacking the other two guys, yelling, "Get back!" he says. And he's going to use his ward. He's going to do he's going to get in there and try to separate, as his mighty deed. He's going to try to separate the two noobs from the ghoul. All right, he rolls a 10 to hit this ghoul. Its AC is 8, so he's getting in there, and he rolled over 3 on his mighty deed die, so he does do it. We're going to give the other two a +1 on AC. Actually, what I'm going to do is give them the ability to move without the guy attacking them. getting an opportunity kind of thing. That's what will happen. So Snope is doing 1d8. Oops. 1d8 minus 1 because he's not very strong. 3 points of damage. Thrice. Oh wait, 3 plus 4 because his mighty D dies 4, so that's 7 points of damage. Yeah. So he steps in and he swings his longsword. That's what he had out, right? Yeah. He swings his longsword, big down, cuts it right down through the chest and the cavity, and guess what? The skin just peels open. He goes down like this kind of cut. Totally cleaves through, and as he does it, boom, pop, surprise, another serpent comes shooting out. As the body falls and kind of splits. The body splits, falls, and a snake comes out. And Snope is going to attempt to shield bash the snake. I think he can do that. It's a 1d16. Cool. Right? No, it's 1d14. It's 1d14. It's much different than the 1d16. And I know I have that too. Where are you at? 1d14. Alright, we'll roll the 1d16 and just ignore anything that happens above. 14. And he... Oh, wow. Alright, so he actually hit with 1d3 damage plus the 6 points of damage, man. So, this is awesome, right? He comes in, says, "Get back!" He steps in, and right in the middle, right before this ghoul and the two guys behind him, swings his longsword, cleaves down through this guy, revealing this snake, and just like this with his shield, just BAM! Smacking the snake right in the face. Not killing it, but hitting it pretty darn hard. All right, back up to the top of the round. Morgan's team. Morgan falls to the ground next to Laura, is crying and trying to shake him, and then Jarek and Herbo, understanding that they need to listen to Snope, and Herbo's hurt, and they both been hurt. They move back. They get out of the way. The ghoul, the snake, attempts to bite Snope. Yeah. Okay, so 2 bites. I'm gonna roll 2d20. One is a fumble and another's a 6. This snake tries to. Snope's got this cool mirrored shield that he picked up in the temple they were in, and it like sees itself and it is confused as to where he is, and it just kind of quick succession, boom, boom, hits the shield. Pix is going to she's not going to do anything. She's going to move back in the shadows and look around and make sure there's nothing else coming. Meggle is going to step forward and see if she can't brain this snake too. Oh, she sure can. She sure can. Let's roll it. 1d8 on the crit chart. She rolls a 7. Strike to chest, grazes vital organ, inflict plus 3d4. 3d4. I love rolling multiples. Same die, especially when it comes to damage. And then 1d6. 4, 6, 7, 8. Splat! Applying the same tactic that she used last time, she smashes the brains of this serpent all over the floor. And then it's quiet again. And there's always the same quiet for Pix and Meggle and Snope. Always seems to end the exact same way. Suddenly quiet. And the smell of death hanging. and then hearing their own breath, and then Morgan sobbing, and Herbo and Jarek shell shocked. Laura's dead. This little this exciting jaunt into the ruins to find cool stuff got real quick. And we're down a person, and that's where we're going to end tonight's session. So next week I've got a annual gaming weekend. It's like not Gen Con, it's more like a personal thing. But not like role playing gaming. It's board gaming. So I might broadcast from there Saturday night, but I don't know if I'm gonna do Friday night. So what I might do is pre-record the next session of this, and play that Friday. I think I might do it live and then just save it and then replay it on Friday. I might do it that way. I'm not quite sure how I might do it, but next time we will join these guys back in this tomb. See if they make it all alive. See if they find what they're looking for. Can they do it all before the Hound attacks this town again? I don't know. I really don't. We're gonna have to see. I know what I'd like to happen, but that's all up to Dice and you if you want to join in. Other than that, thank you for joining us at the Liching Hour, and Viva la Dungeon!